And we are back. And on day 16th of our 31-day countdown to Halloween, we are looking at Final Destination 5 and Bloodlines. And we're welcoming back our good buddy, Zack. Thank you, Zack, for coming back.
Hello.
This we caught on HBO Max, but it's also on, it says AMC Plus and Disney Hulu. And I guess buy rent on Prime Video. This comes to us from director Steven Quale with writing credits to Eric Heisserer and Jeffrey Reddick. In this installment, the IMDb blurb says, Death returns to claim the lucky survivors of a deadly bridge collapse in this fifth frightening installment in the series. Zack, how many times have you seen this already?
I believe this is my third or fourth.
Does it get better with each viewing, or...
It changes, definitely.
Oh, interesting.
In the grand scheme of Final Destination, I used to rank this maybe number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have fallen a peg.
Oh, really?
On this rewatch. But I do kind of love it because I think every character in this one is kind of insufferable. I didn't care for the main character, didn't care for the girlfriend.
Yes.
And I kind of enjoyed that. Before I didn't really see that. And obviously the really smarmy guy,
Dave Franco 2.0.
The cell phone dude. I forget what his character's name was.
Isaac, the guy who got his head squished.
At the spa, right?
Yeah, the spa guy.
Oh, I thought you meant the other one, the friend, Peter.
He was smarmy too, but he wasn't as smarmy as cell phone guy.
Yes, agreed. I'm like, how is he dating all these women? I didn't get it, but okay. I mean, I'm sure there's guys like that.
Well, spoiler alert, it was the 90s. Times were different.
I feel like this movie came out when? 2011? So I feel like we can spoil it, right? I mean, I feel like if you've watched one, you basically know that there's deaths in an abundance in these films, right? And they're just absolutely out of control. So I think my favorite part of this film was the ending, because I thought that was very clever. I won't give it away, but it's for people that haven't watched it. I think this is like the horror Fast and Furious franchise, right? Because it's like they just progressively get just more and more out of control with how death comes for everybody.
I see the comparison, but the difference is Fast and the Furious gains more and more star power in terms of actors, and this franchise is like, who are these people? At least the first one had Devon Sawa.
Yes, true.
And, I mean, obviously you get Tony Todd, but...
Yeah, true. We saw this a couple of days ago, but we caught Bloodlines last night, and I felt like number 2 was my favorite, but then I really thought the ending for this was clever, but then I also liked this last one, Bloodlines. And I feel like this is like perfect spooky season entertainment fodder, because you don't really have to lock in to kind of enjoy it. You can come in and out of a room and see like somebody's head being squashed, and it's like, oh, that's great, and just keep going. But if you do sit down and watch them, it's just stupid fun, right?
Yeah. I feel like in this one, they were trying to tie things together with that thing at the end, with the bit at the end.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was clever. Did you not enjoy that?
No, I honestly thought that was probably the most clever bit of the whole movie. This one didn't really do much for me. Okay. I didn't. It was okay. It was what you'd expect from a Final Destination movie. But as far as the deaths went, I thought probably the Isaac's death was probably the most
satisfying.
Well, not only satisfying, but there was a lot going on. There was like a lot of little elements that worked together to finally kill that guy.
Okay, fair.
It was reminiscent of the shower death in 1.
Yeah, yes, kind of. There was seriously, because there was a lot of little things that all added up, and then finally it's the offhand comment. Oh, look at that guy, referring to the statue, and that's the thing that gets him.
Yeah.
But the rest of the deaths didn't quite match up to that one. So yeah, there was that.
Really?
There was, as you mentioned, the actors, everybody in the movie. I didn't like anybody either.
Yeah.
I didn't care for a single one of those characters. They all seemed insufferable. But then, like I said, they did that little clever thing at the end, and they hint at it earlier in the movie, because I remember watching the film, and I'm like watching that Isaac guy, and I'm like, what phone is that? I haven't seen one of those since like the Stone
90s.
Age. Yeah, that
But I think it's subtle, right? It's not overt in the beginning because not too much changes as far as like.
I believe there is a hint in the beginning with the license plate for New York being like the white and red Statue of Liberty one.
Oh wow, they really went deep.
Yeah, they kind of did, but it's subtle. It doesn't hammer you because at the end, when you see what's happening, it's like, oh, they did what they did. I don't want to give it away, but nobody was freaked out by the LASIK sequence. I felt like that. I don't know.
That one didn't really. Yeah, she was strapped to a chair and the LASIK machine started killing her. There really wasn't like a ton going on.
But I think the whole like, holding the eye open, like that freaked me out and just gave me so much agita during that sequence.
For me, that's just gross in general, but
yes,
that's what you do. It's just sort of like, okay, her eye's being held open by some device that's supposed to keep her eye open. It's not like as though somehow she tripped and a fish hook went through her eyelid and kept her open or something like that.
To be fair, this one was kind of self-inflicted because she reaches for the remote and knocks it over when she could have just chilled, but like her panic, like
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why it wasn't ornate and intricate as Isaac's death.
And what's his name? What is it? Keckner? His
Keckner.
death. Yeah, his death was a little too rapid. No?
It was like sort of like you were being deceived. You're like, oh my God, this guy's going to be killed next, and then suddenly it wasn't that guy. It was like, oh, it skipped him, and now it's Keckner.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the mechanics of Final Destination?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Because, okay, so like the first one introduces Death's plan and there's an order. And if you cheat death, it comes back around at the end, yada, yada, yada. But then 2 introduces that if you die but come back to life, you break the cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if 3 and 4 introduced any new mechanics.
No, I think it was just strap in, kind of.
But then 5 introduces that if you take a life, you gain that lifespan, right?
Yeah.
And 2 also introduces that anyone who cheats death, whoever they interact with, also becomes part of the
cycle.
Yeah. So like,
well, didn't it have to be like if they interact in a way that saves their life?
Not necessarily. It was just the fact that like because they existed, they changed the timeline so there was ripples.
Oh, right.
Like,
right.
And it did save people's lives, but they didn't like actively like necessarily always have to save a life. It was just like their existence changed the timeline.
Right, yeah, because that was like, they're all kind of blurring at this point, but didn't one of them save somebody's life, and then at the end, that guy just explodes?
Yes, which one was that? That was it the 4th one? Yeah,
that was the 4th. Okay, so
that, like barbecue sequence at the end.
The guy who exploded, he got saved earlier in the movie.
I think that one's 2 that you're thinking of, actually.
Okay, so then all right, so your life will ripple out and affect other people's lives.
Does the girl from 2 ever come back? I was hoping to see her.
The one that succeeded in cheating
death. I don't think we ever see her again.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an Easter egg headline, like newspaper article in one of the other movies that I can't recall because it's been like a year since I watched the first, 4.
Question for you guys. Is Tony Todd death? Zach, you go first.
Well, without skipping ahead to Bloodlines, like I think it's left ambiguous in 1 through 5. When we get to Bloodlines, I'm happy to chime in on what I think about that, but I don't want to skip ahead.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. And 1 through 5, there's really no other implication other than he's either death or he's like some sort of supernatural influenced entity.
Okay, got it.
Like a Charon type figure. Like,
yeah. But the thing that's funny is that Bloodlines, it's sort of like when you find out about him in Bloodlines, it's just like, why didn't you just say any of that in the other movies? You're just like giving cryptic hints, and it's just like, what's going on. Just freaking say it.
Maybe he's trying to protect himself.
I don't know.
He's so freaking creepy in 1 through 5.
Yeah, I'll speak on it when we get to Bloodlines.
Okay.
But let's stick to 5 for now.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't think there was any likable characters. Couldn't care less. Listen, you watch a Final Destination movie, you know what you're in for. So the deaths weren't as compelling as like maybe 2 or 3 or even 4. But I think the thing that really put this movie 5 over the top was that ending. I found that incredibly clever and really made the story. So if I was going to give this a number from 1 to 10, I think because of that ending, I'm going to be a little bit more generous, and I'm going to give this a 6. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd give this a 6 too. Like you mentioned, the ending to me feels like they're actually, maybe they were thinking this was going to be it, so they wanted to sort of like close that loop literally by doing that. And I think that did work, but I feel like the next one was even more clever in my mind.
Agreed. And we'll get into a second. Zach, 1 to 10, what would you give Final Destination 5?
On this watch, I'll be generous and go with the 6 as well. I actually kind of had a problem with the ending because of the mechanics that we discussed.
Yes.
It just felt unearned, like on this watch.
So, well, what about you feel like it betrayed the mechanics of the ending? Like how so?
Yeah.
Because you were told something, right? You're told the angel of death will bypass you if you adhere to certain criteria. And technically, all 3 players at the end adhered to that criteria, and yet their outcome wasn't what you expected. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but you could also just say that. How do we know that? I forgot. Was it Courtney B. Vance? Was he the?
He was.
Yes, he was the agent, the detective.
Right. How do we know that the agent wasn't supposed to, like, he was going to have a long life?
We don't know. There's so many. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to take everything at face value.
We later find out that Dick, what's his name, Ron or whatever. He apparently had an aneurysm about to explode in his head. Right.
That was earned. That I felt was earned. They gave us something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if they would, like, at some point in the movie, Courtney B. Vance is like gets a phone call and it's like, yeah, this is the doctor. You're terminal or something. then it would be okay.
Well,
no, not them. I'm talking about the other 2 characters.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought that
according to the story,
because
the girlfriend
Pete,
Molly.
Because Pete killed Courtney B. Vance, he got Courtney B. Vance's life, but then because Sam killed Pete, then he gets that life.
Yeah, I think it's like Kirby. Like you know, when you devour him, you get the powers.
Yeah. Right. So how do we know that?
We don't.
How do we know that that
we
Courtney
don't,
B. Vance's life was
cheap?
Okay.
That's why it felt cheap. Like we don't know that.
Right. Yeah, okay. I get what Zach's saying.
Yeah. They didn't make it as clear as they did with
like the other stories.
The other guy.
I
forgot what his name was, but he just gets crushed by a plane engine.
Nathan. Yeah. Yeah, I mean
that was funny. That I did laugh at. Like the movie does have a sense of humor about itself.
I feel like the deaths that make me laugh the most are where somebody's just standing there and they just get like crushed.
Can we move to Bloodlines?
Yes.
Because I do have one. There is one of those.
Yes.
There's a couple in there, which made me just laugh hysterically.
Yes. Did Olivia watch 5 with us, or is she watching 6 with us? She watched 6 with us last night, right?
I think she sat with us for some, but she's seen Bloodlines in fragments too.
Right. Okay. All right. So 666 again. Final Destination 5. We caught it on Max, but there's other platforms also playing it. It's rated R. This is gory and gruesome, but also kind of funny, maybe. I felt like some of those deaths are just so over the top and exaggerated. So, I mean, I feel like this is horror comedy. Am I tagging it wrong?
Nope. Okay. I agree.
Yeah.
Like I definitely flagged that like the deaths were a lot more ridiculous in this one.
They definitely felt that way. So according to IMDb, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes. This is tagged as splatter horror, supernatural horror, teen horror, and thriller.
None of them were teens anymore, were they?
No, they were Yeah, they were
they're
young
all
adults working at their first jobs or something. If anything, they were
Yeah,
in
college age. Yeah. Well, there was the one kid who was a teen.
Who was that?
Which one was that?
Her little brother, who was like he did the promposal.
Oh, wait, you're thinking of
Oh.
Bloodlines.
Yeah, we're talking Bloodlines now.
No, she's
I'm
giving
wrapping up
the
5.
wrap
Yeah,
up of 5.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Cut it.
No,
Cut that.
no. That's fine. That's fine. And which, thank you, Zach, because we're going to segue now into Final Destination Part 6, otherwise known as Bloodlines. This came out in 2025, earlier this year, like in the spring or summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rated R. This one is actually a little longer, an hour and 50 minutes. And it is also playing on HBO Max, but you can also rent it on Prime Video. This comes to us from director Zack Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, with writing credits to Guy Busick, Laurie Evans-Taylor, and John Watts. In this one, plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. Zach, did you see this in the theater or no?
No, but I did pay full price to buy it when it hit VOD.
Okay. And
so I paid more than theater price.
Wow. Thoughts? Tell me your thoughts.
So this is my second time through. I feel like it's more of a legacy sequel than a proper sequel, and I think that's maybe why they decided to break the naming convention once again, because 4 wasn't 4, it was The Final Destination.
Right.
Which... and then this is Bloodline. So I always love when a horror movie decides that it loses faith in its naming convention. Like, that is when you know you're getting into, like, deep, like, waters in a horror franchise. But I did have some questions of the mechanics of it again.
Okay.
Especially when you consider the ripple effect of 2. Because, like, how do I get into the beginning without getting too far ahead of ourselves? Her preventing the disaster and then going on to have a large family with multiple branches, those ripples should be like ginormous.
But then again, that might explain why it took so long to finally get to her.
Possibly. But okay, so I know this just came out this year and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but obviously we're going to talk about spoilers here because I feel like we kind of have to. So I kind of like that we're pairing 5 and 6 together because I felt like the main messaging is like, it doesn't matter. I mean, there are these rules, but it doesn't matter because I think at the end, death comes for us all. And so I felt like that was very much the case here in this one. And even in 5, because people are just living their lives, moving on, and yet death comes back to take its pound of flesh, right? So in this one, I really enjoyed the beginning. I thought that whole sequence was really well done, even though it was like, how could this possibly happen from a penny?
We didn't really even talk about the opening disaster sequence for 5, which I guess kind of goes to show, like, this one, like, I think if I remember correctly, this, like, Bloodlines has the longest opening disaster sequence.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think it's like something like 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there was a lot going on, and I mean, a ton of people died.
What was your favorite?
That little bastard. That little bastard getting his, like, right towards the end. He died in such a Looney Tunes way with a literal piano falling on top of him. I love that.
He's just laughed and laughed.
I kind of felt like it was a callback to 2, where the kid gets crushed with the falling pane of glass for chasing the pigeons.
Yes.
that one also got me. I love that one as well.
Well, that's why I wanted, when we were talking about 5 and we were talking about people just getting crushed, like, I wanted to talk about the kid in this one because, like this is not the first time this franchise has crushed a child.
Yeah, but
deservedly so.
Yeah, in defense of the franchise, they always pick the worst children to kill. Yes. So it's just like you feel like you're not really horrified. It's just sort of like, yes, justice has been done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they do a good job of making you not hate the fact that they're just killing children.
Yeah, agreed. You definitely kind of chuckled and like we're like, yeah, fuck that kid. What did you think of the 2 protagonists in the film, Zach? Charlie, the brother, and Stephanie?
They were fine. On this watch, I guess I kind of focused more on the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
For this watch, I think it was the cousin that was like the tattoo artist,
Eric.
like Piercer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like I was more like kind of focused on him this watch than the main characters, just because like I don't know. I think
his
the actor,
sequence was ridiculous.
Oh, he got 2 sequences.
That's true, right? Yeah, but both of them are just insane.
I got to be honest. I understand what Zach's saying, because he was really the only character that had any kind of charisma. As far as like the other, like the main protagonist was just,
she was kind of dull, right?
She was kind of dull. The brother was about as bland as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the only one that was like kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
He was trying to help his brother out, which
didn't work out
really
for
work
either
out
of them.
too well for either of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like a weak point to the movie. I would probably say that our main protagonist wasn't really that interesting.
I agree.
I mean, they're never really that interesting, but at least.
But I feel like I liked Devon Sawa's character in the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the girl in the second one, she was good.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
She was good. Yeah, I mean, she was compelling. Which one was
4 is the worst, so less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess starting. Yeah, I would probably say like at 4, it's sort of like they just didn't really care about writing a very
cohesive or
no, just like writing a character that you're like, okay, I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah. Okay, fair. And then 5.
I didn't care at all about
none of the characters were compelling or interesting or fun. Yeah.
But what I will say about Bloodlines is the main character in this one felt more like a framing device than a protagonist.
Yes, yes.
That's interesting. I didn't even think of it that way, but yeah, I agree with that statement as well. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and she wasn't even the last one to die, or one that was fated to be the last one to die.
And then at the end, I felt like it just went too quickly. I don't know.
I won't skip too far ahead, but I will comment about the ending that like that final sequence, people complain about, what is it, the Prometheus or Covenant? I can't remember which one, with the rolling thing. And why didn't they just turn the other?
Charlize Theron,
Yeah. No, Prometheus.
Yeah, the way Charlize Theron dies is ridiculous in that movie.
It's the same thing at the end of this movie, though.
Yeah.
Just walk sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was houses that had like yards. You could have like just turned.
Yeah, duck and weave in between. Yeah, it felt like it was disappointing. I feel like overall, I felt like Bloodlines was a better film than 5, but I felt like the ending of 5 was way more gratifying and way more well done than the ending of 6 or Bloodlines. Sorry.
Same difference.
Yeah.
It is the 6th entry in the Final Destination franchise.
I mean, technically, they could make these movies forever, right? But I didn't hate it, and I think between 5 and 6, I like 6 better. But I felt like the ending was like just, I don't know, it was just shit, because it was like the beginning sequence is so well done. To bookend it with that ending felt like a huge letdown, and I don't think it needed to be as spectacular as the ending as 5, but like a little bit more effort would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, comparative to the beginning of the film, the ending is kind of a letdown. As far as the ending goes, the thing that was clever about 5's ending was just the closing of the loop.
The tie back,
them all dying was bleh.
Yeah, no, fair.
The thing that I find hilarious about Bloodlines ending is everything was totally fine until that guy was just like, yeah, you didn't really die. You're you're just unconscious. And it's just like, oh, really? Okay. And then that's it. Everybody's going to die now.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Death didn't realize it either. Death was just sort of standing there, and when the guy's like, oh, you weren't really dead, Death was just like, really?
Yeah. And I feel like the other thing about these Final Destination movies is whenever there's a truck with logs, you should just start running, right? Because I feel like you should just start running.
Yeah. Death really likes killing people with logs.
To be fair, though, like, obviously that is a callback. And that second movie really did make an impact on the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
People really did start fearing that after that movie, sort of in the way that, like, Jaws instilled the fear of shark in people
Yes.
that like
Yeah.
that they did not have before because they did not have a concept of shark.
Right. Sure.
Maybe Final Destination 7 should just be subtitled Logs.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Final Destination 7, log lines.
Log lines. There you go. So you, number from 1 to 10, what are you going to give it?
This one I would probably give a 7. I enjoyed this one more than several of the other ones. I got to be honest, the other ones are kind of blurring in my mind right now, so I don't remember what I really gave them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the opening sequence I thought was great.
Great.
There was so much stuff going on, and everybody's just getting blown up and squished. The maitre d' in the elevator, the little bastard with the piano.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on there. Then you had the fake out death with the tattoo guy, the real death. The deaths definitely felt like they put more thought into it than they did in the previous installment.
Fifth one. Yes, I agree.
So that was nice. And they were just sort of over the top and very splattery.
Very. Was this supposed to be like a 3D film? Are the last 3 films 3D? Because I feel like there's so much of that.
I know the previous one, that was like one of the things that I read about. They actually filmed it with 3D cameras.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like an after effect that they added in post-production. Like
Are you talking 5?
Yeah.
I think you can see that in the opening sequence when like there's a part where like a hand flies towards the camera, and I'm like, well, that was clearly meant to be in 3D.
Yeah.
There were a couple of shots where it was just like, this is obvious.
Well, also the 4th one, right? But that's the one that starts at the racetrack.
Yeah.
I think 3, 4, and 5 might have all had some 3D. I don't know if they were necessarily all filmed in 3D, but like they had 3D applied to them. If not.
Yeah.
Does that make it more interesting, do you think, as a viewer?
No.
Okay.
It actually kind of takes me out a little bit, because when I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, they filmed that for 3D. And if you do something where I'm like sitting there and I actually think they filmed that, then it takes me out.
But here's the thing, though. Like, if I had seen one of these movies, let's say they were in like whatever that like 4X or like whatever that experiential one is, where like the chairs shake and they like mist you.
Spraying.
Yes.
Like, I could see enjoying one of these movies in 3D with all of that going on. But like sitting at home, not watching it in 3D and just seeing it in 2D, like, no, it doesn't help. Like, you know, if I had seen it in 3D, maybe.
Yeah. Zach, what would you give it, 1 to 10?
Well, so I want to give it a 7, but like I was thinking about my rankings, and I've nailed down the order of all the movies.
Ooh,
and
tell us.
So I have to give it a 6 because I think it goes 2, 1, 5 and 6 are tied, then 3, and then 4.
I think that works. Yeah, the 4th one is definitely the worst one. And I think 2 is still my favorite. And 1, I feel like you have to put 1 and 2 together. I think 2 is a little bit stronger. And I agree with you. I think 5 and 6, although it's funny because I didn't really care for 5 as much as I liked 6. I feel like it edges it out just a tad more. But I think the brilliance of 5 is that ending. But if that ending didn't exist, then I feel like 5 would go down in the rankings. Like, I think I liked 3 more than 5. It's just that ending really bumped up 5 for me.
I thought I had liked 3 more than 5 until I rewatched 3 for our last recording.
What brought it down for you?
I don't recall. I think I might have talked about it in the recording.
Okay. I'll have to listen to it. But I don't know. I think I still felt like 3 as an overall story was stronger. I felt like kind of what you guys said. I think for 5, none of the characters were compelling. None of them were interesting. I wasn't rooting for anybody. I couldn't care less. I'm like, okay, yeah, you got it. They weren't really spectacular. And I think because you see 3 so much earlier in the franchise, it's still kind of new. So having all of that gory deliciousness is still more impactful. By the time you get to 6, it's like, okay, entertain me. What do you got to show me? Because I've already seen 1 through 5, right? So it has to be really special for it to pop and stand out.
I feel like in terms of like the production of things, I feel like 1 through 3 are sort of its own thing. And then I think 4 is kind of this anomaly. And then I feel like 5 and 6 are sort of its own chunk too. And then whatever comes next, we'll see. But
yeah. All right, fair. I agree with you. I would give this a 7. I really enjoyed it. I think I agree with Zack. I don't think it's the pinnacle of the FD franchise, but I think it's very strong. And obviously, these films are making money because they're coming back to this well. And obviously, the production values are better. The deaths are very bloody and gory and over the top.
Yeah, I felt like the deaths in this one were way better than the previous one.
Yeah.
And but just like the premise of it with, as I think we were starting to talk about it in the previous review, but the fact that there was like so much time to expand these ripples to the part where it sort of like envelops all the previous movies. And also you get to figure out what the hell's going on with Tony Todd.
Yes. Oh, thank you for bringing him up. So I'm going to go around the table. Zack, can I start with you? What did you think of Tony Todd? I think we could spoil it. He's obviously not coming back to the franchise.
Yeah, he's not Death. And like this movie like clearly like establishes that he's just another dude. But like I think before in the 1 through 5, like you're led to believe that like he's like the voice of Death.
Right. He's
not
something
Death,
supernatural.
He's not Death incarnate, but he is like the spokesperson, the representative, the liaison.
Yes. I totally got that vibe too. But it was interesting because even as recent as 5, you have an impression, but then here the story is obviously revealed to you. What did you think of that? Did you think that that was a good addition to the tapestry of the overall franchise storylines?
It's a choice. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think it's a good choice?
I suppose I'll have to see like if they do continue it, like where it goes, because like I think it was a fitting in for the character and the actor.
Yeah.
Do I necessarily? I get why they did the send off the way they did it from like the practical reality of the actor and the production.
Sure.
And all of that, but like as far as the franchise goes, like I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like you said, it's a choice. They could have just kept him as this supernatural adjacent character, but given the way this story was structured, it fits. To me, it worked that he was the little boy at the very end of the huge disaster that happens at the beginning, and Death is like almost at him. He still has to get through a couple more people before he can get Tony Todd, but even still, it's like he's screwed no matter what. The same thing with Iris. I got cancer, so I'm going to die at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that didn't bother me. I felt given this story, it worked.
Yeah, and plus physically, Tony Todd looked different than he did
looked
in
a
5.
lot different. Yeah, you could see he was withering away.
Yeah, and so I believe Death comes for him, obviously off screen. And we won't know anything about it, which is fine as well. I hope that this film did well enough that his estate will be okay.
In 7, it'll probably be something like he was like a huge sperm bank donor, and he has like 10,000 children.
Children, yes.
Yeah, so Death is just
Death
like,
is like,
God damn it. I gotta kill all these fucking people now.
That's so funny.
All right, but who are you casting as the new Death adjacent?
Danny McBride.
You know what? I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Either that or it has to be somebody like tiny.
See, my thought was Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I like where that's going too, actually. But would Michael B. do this film?
He's not creepy though. Tony Todd Tony Todd's always been but Tony Todd he's just creepy.
Have you ever seen the 1990 Night of the Living Dead that Tom Savini directed, where Tony Todd just plays a regular dude?
No, I never saw that one.
Oh, we gotta get that on the list.
Yeah,
I mean,
31 for 31.
I'm not belittling Tony Todd's acting or range or anything. It's just that he's got that voice. And plus he's sort of like a horror staple.
Yeah,
he's the Candyman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got that whole vibe. for me, Michael B. Jordan, I have no doubt that he could totally crush it, but I also see him as Adonis Creed and
I haven't seen those movies, so I don't have that baggage.
And Killmonger and stuff like that. He's
the Wire, the little kid in the Wire.
He's the little kid in the Wire, and
the Wire is what makes me think he would be good in the role.
Yeah, you know what? I could see it, but I feel like I don't think that he would think that this was a strategic move. Like
it would be below him for sure.
I feel like
he would have to be a big fan.
Yes, I feel like he did Sinners because he's got that Ryan Coogler love, but if it had been another director, he might have passed. You know what I mean? I don't see him as like a horror guy necessarily, unless somebody like some prestige horror guy, like an Ari Aster, came to him and said, "Oh, I have this story." Although I haven't heard good things about the last Ari Aster film, but I still want to watch it.
I haven't seen the past couple of ones. I haven't seen Beau is Afraid.
I loved Beau is Afraid.
What did he do after that?
Eddington.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of those yet, but like I'm down.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch them.
You know what's funny? So, not to get off on a tangent, but Ray and I watched Beau is Afraid, and originally, right? Like we were like
the first night we
were like, what the fuck was that? But so I said to Ray, I was like, you know what? Let's just sleep on it. And then the next day, it was like we had an epiphany, and we were like, holy shit, that was brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we waited to review that film, because if we'd reviewed that film like immediately after we'd seen it, it would have been a completely different review.
Yeah.
I mean,
we actually sat on it.
Sometimes art takes time to process, you know, like not all art is immediate and gratifying.
Yes.
Like some art is unpleasant and takes some processing before you get where the art is you know,
headed.
what the art is about, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like Beau is Afraid is that. And I bet to some extent Eddington is too, because I've not heard really great things about it, but I still want to see it because I really like Ari Aster, and I feel like people miss what Beau is Afraid is about, really, because it's not Midsommar and it's not Hereditary. It's not supposed to be those things. It's supposed to be
supernatural going.
There's nothing supernatural going. I mean, the ending is kind of trippy and shit, but it's not those movies, and I think people sort of pigeonholed him and expect him to be that guy that's going to creep you out, because he did Hereditary and Midsommar back to back, which is pretty fucking impressive. So then when he got to Beau is Afraid, I think people had an expectation. See, that's the thing about artists, because people assume like, oh, you're this guy, but you're not. This is like why I love Billy Wilder, because he ran that range. He could do funny stuff. He could do really dramatic things. And he kind of did the movies that he kind of wanted to do. And I feel like I can't wait to see the next Filippo brother movie, because I think it's going to be that wrestling documentary. And I'm like, I'm here for it.
I think, if I recall that interview, I think they said they had the wrestling documentary and then they had something else in the work after that.
Yeah. I felt bad that they gave up on Street Fighter. They had to give it up because of scheduling. I would have loved to have seen them do a Street Fighter movie.
You know what's interesting is Zack Krieger is doing Resident Evil.
Is he really?
Yeah, I heard about that.
He's doing the next Resident Evil. They talk about it on that podcast.
I gotta watch it. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it. But yeah, I'm buying whatever that guy's selling, because I loved the crap out of Barbarian, and I love freaking Weapons. That was in my top 3 of horror this year. Absolutely, this has been such a spectacular year for horror. As a lover of horror genres, thank you, Hollyweird, for financing all these wonderful projects. They've been outstanding. Yeah, this has been such a good year for horror.
I honestly feel like horror has been having a good run, at least since like maybe even pre-pandemic. Like, because when did Hereditary drop? Like, it has
early
been like
2020s, right? Yeah.
A24 has been doing great work in the space.
Yeah.
I forget what Elijah Wood's production company is.
Yeah.
But like, he's been doing good work in the space.
Yeah. Whatever Zack's company is. Like,
every once in a while, Nicolas Cage will crop up and do some weird horror.
I didn't like Long Legs.
I didn't see it, but I did love Mandy.
I like Mandy a lot.
Yeah.
And that's, I think we saw that for our anniversary one year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the crap out of that. But Long Legs, I don't know.
I hear it's divisive.
Yeah, I'm I'm on the fence about watching.
I feel like the advertising did that movie a disservice. The advertising was far creepier than the actual movie.
Yeah.
I see. I didn't see the ads.
No, whoever did the ad work deserves a raise. Like, they were really good, really compelling, really creepy. I felt like, and it's funny because I like that guy. I like Oz Perkins, but I'm like almost hesitant to see that monkey movie. The last one.
I heard it was good. I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard Longlegs was good too, but I don't know.
I remember we recently saw the trailer for that monkey film, which we hadn't seen before, and it's clearly showing that it's comedy. So I'm willing to give that a shot. Originally, I wasn't because I had just heard it was not a good as far as horror movies go. But a horror comedy, I'm viewing that with a different headspace. So
fair enough.
I would give it a shot.
All right, fair enough.
Let's get back to this.
Yes. Did we give our numbers for Bloodlines?
I think I gave it a 7. You gave it a 7.
And Zach gave it a 6.
7.76. Yeah.
6-7.
Oh God.
I don't know. It's something the young kids say, Zach. I don't know what it means.
Yes, I've heard of it. I don't know it, but I've heard of it.
I know. I feel like I'm a person of a certain age. Whenever my kids come out with stuff, I'm like, what does any of that mean?
Yeah, we're old.
We're old. So once again, Final Destination 5 and Final Destination Bloodlines, which is the 6-part installment of the franchise, they're all on HBO Max in time for spooky season. Definitely check it out. If you're a teenager, like I would have been in the theaters on day 1 watching these films because this was totally in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. I love stupid splatter shit as a young person. And yeah, I mean, you don't need to think. It's just come in, turn off your brain, and just be entertained. So if you like horror, definitely check it out. And I'm sure we'll be here soon again to talk about Final Destination 7. And with that, we'll wrap it up. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, Zach, it's always a pleasure, my friend, to see you. And hopefully you'll come back and talk to us soon. Maybe we'll do, what were you talking about? What was the other movie we were talking about?
Every movie in the Resident Evil franchise.
Ooh, that's another place to go to. Or maybe we save that for next year's 31 Days.
Yeah, that would take up the whole month.
Pretty much.
Their naming convention makes no sense.
No sense, yeah.
Because
I love it.
I have like no idea what film came after it, and it's not like watching helps.
No.
Because you're watching it and you're like, wait a minute, didn't that person die like 3 films ago?
Yes, I know. Didn't we see like Michelle Rodriguez and we were like, wait a minute,
she died in the first one. Why's she here?
And you can't even blame it like you can on Final Destination where there's a bunch of different cooks. It's all one dude. Yeah. It's all one dude.
What's a better franchise? Those or what was the other one? Underworld?
Oh God, yeah, that was another one that was kind of a mess.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, from the get-go, that thing was a mess. I remember we saw that one in the theater.
They did so well.
Yeah, they did phenomenally well.
Right? It's because the boys like seeing Kate Beckinsale in that cat suit,
it's Kate Beckinsale in a leather outfit.
Yeah. All right. That
Werewolves vs. Vampires. It's classic. Tale as old as time.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we wrap it up, Zach, what's your favorite horror franchise? Do you have one?
Probably Halloween.
Those got better. Yeah.
But like, you've got the classic one. The Rob Zombie ones are pretty decent. I liked the one that I saw with the David Gordon Green, but I didn't see the rest of them. So it's like, it's had, throughout its life cycle, it's had like highs and lows, but I feel like more consistently high. If we're talking like big ones, Scream's up there too. Like I think
that was going to be my
good.
choice. That was going to be my choice. These last ones have been spectacular. I really enjoyed them. Yeah, they've been playing like what is it, Nightmare on Elm Street a lot on AMC recently. Yeah. I forgot how fun those were.
When you get into the ones with the subtitle Dream, the Dream Warriors, the Dream Master.
That one is the best one.
Yeah, the third one was. I really liked the third one. But it's like...
It's silly, but like, it's fun.
Did you see the one with Jackie Earl Haley? I haven't. I've been meaning to, but...
No, I haven't either. That one.
I haven't either. Yeah, we might have to go down a rabbit hole on that.
All right.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. I was like, oh my God, this is totally 80s. All right, again, check it out. Final Destination 5 and Final Destination Bloodlines, which is the 6th installment, currently streaming on HBO Max. And with that, we'll wrap it up and bid you all a
Good night.
good night.
Bye.